Uh, where's your thing? Yeah, I got this little thing. I don't see you in here. I'll wait for it to update. What?
No! I gotta mute this.
Will it
Sorry, guys, I forgot I had the sound muted. Thanks for tuning in. This is Active Reload. This is now episode 8, so we've made it through 2 months of this. Somehow we keep pulling it off every week. Tonight is once again myself, arCtyC, and Gandhi. I don't know why I said that weird.
Yeah,
And,
no.
as you've seen before on a recent episode, Blaze, and also Lauren, also known as Cookies, the CEO of GCON, if I'm correct, right?
Yep,
Yep.
that's me.
So we're gonna kick things off tonight, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the scope and what happened last Thursday. Things that were said that we don't quite agree with. As you know, Terror was on there and said some things that kind of raised some eyebrows. So, Lauren, if you
Yeah.
want to kick it off with that, because that's pretty much your show, and let us know what you think.
Great show,
Well,
by the
yeah.
way.
Thank you. Well, I want to give a big shout out to Nixie because she was really the driving force to bringing it back, and I appreciate that. But essentially, we wanted to talk about in the scope. I had the idea to bring up um, where was I going with this? Community building. What can you do as an individual player to build the community? And essentially, we got on the topic of how certain teams get invited to events like Hype. And for me, I feel like it doesn't help the community to do invite-only events,
Hmm.
events without a qualifier. I mean, you're not giving anyone else a shot. You're just inviting the people you know, and I feel like that doesn't help build the community. We need more people to be playing this game, not less.
Of
And
course.
yeah. I mean, Kenny, you were there, and
Oh God.
Tara's opinion was that if he already proved that he's worthy, so he should have an invite to all events pretty much no matter what.
And, okay. Well, when it comes down to that, like now let's put ourselves in his shoes for a second and kind of see where he comes from that. And I can understand why he will say that because considering that out of like what the 5-6 tournaments that it's been from online to LAN so far, I
Hmm.
think they've won them all besides maybe one or two.
Well, they didn't
You
win
know.
Devastation.
Well, yeah, they
There you
didn't win.
go.
That's besides one of the
Oh,
one or
they went.
twos.
That's right.
All the ones. That's the only one that they haven't won that they've been to. I can see why he would say it. But I wasn't there for the show, so I don't know the tone of voice that he actually said it in to see if it was like really a problem.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, Kenny, what'd you think?
Uh,
You were there.
I got a little heated during that because, frankly, I was getting frustrated with how he was acting, saying how you won't get as many viewers in a tournament if it's, no names compared to the top teams. And I think I already proved that wrong at King of the Couch when it's pretty much a bunch of pickup teams, and we had the same amount of viewers at a tournament compared to the last Hype. So it has nothing to do with who's playing and where it is. It's just Gears. People want to watch Gears. That's as simple as that. Competitive Gears, whether it's the top teams or amateur teams, it does not matter. So I mean, I wouldn't mind having big tournaments where even it's for the lesser known teams and the top teams aren't allowed, so they actually have a chance of getting their name out there and actually making some money too. I mean, because if you think about it, they typically rarely get the chance.
And I'm going to go ahead and say I think Gears is in its point right now where I don't think there's any one team outstanding that has that many fans. Like I guess ZYN, I think you guys are the one team that has the most fans right now. But I don't think that's the driving force behind people watching a tournament, especially in Gears. We're too small. People don't
No,
know who the teams are.
definitely. I mean, and we done a lot to build our team up, but even then, we have a large fan base, but it's different for those people because we do like YouTube stuff, if you want to count that as a fan, or maybe Facebook. But as far as getting people in the stream, that's like a different audience that is looking at that. So the people that want to watch Gears are going to watch Gears, and then the people that are kind of like on the edge, those are the ones that we need to convince, whether they be new or I guess old heads, or whether they want to compete, whatever it is. Those are the people that I think we need to kind of get into the community. Now, I mean, I didn't watch the show, and so all of this is kind of new for me. And I, knowing Terror, it probably didn't come off how he meant it, but that sounds kind of bad in wording, but like Blaze said, I can kind of understand what he's saying based off of Infinity's current track record. But let's say that we started, going to ECL and playing, out of country. Does he feel like, Infinity deserves to play in ECL to get invited? I don't know if that necessarily is a fair assessment that any tournament that they go to play to or whatever, he needs an invite. But right now they got the track record, so I can, like I said, I can see where he's coming from, but I don't know. I don't know how he kind of worded that. Again, I have to listen to it. So
I think he just kind of took it out of context. All he did was kind of take it out of context. We were just discussing about how Hype 16, and then he was just like, "Well, I don't care. I have an invite no matter what," kind of thing. That's how I personally took it. Now, in regard to the Hype 16, if we want to talk about it, it's just not Hype 3. And I support the movement of Hypefestation, but I do think, in the current state of the community, there should be something going on. Now, there's just no way we could have another event that can house 32 teams. There's just
exactly.
That's it. And that's that.
Yeah, and I was thinking of the same thing, especially when it comes down to Hype 16. We got to remember that, these events are player ran, and the Hype is one of the only things that we have right now. So if, we can't house another 32 team invite only, especially when it comes down to funds and everything, do we just do another invite only tournament like we did before? Or do we not have another tournament at all because we can't house that many teams? So I think it kind of comes down to one of those options. And of course, I'm pretty sure we will all love to watch another tournament rather than not have one, even if it has to be smaller.
Yeah.
And, I understand, like, a lack of resources being an issue here, but I don't think that doing invite only is the way to go, ever. We have the resources to do this online. We have the resources to have a qualifier. Why not force people to qualify? Especially, with all the teams switching up. They're switching up constantly. What makes those teams who are changing their rosters deserve an invite?
Well, I mean, I agree with the we have the ability now to do things online, but I don't know. I mean, invite only is not the best way to go. I don't think because Kenny brought up the point. People are going to watch. Like you can, whether it be King of the Couch or Hype Fest. I mean, you can get the same number of viewers based on the people that are either somehow involved or playing or whatever, commentating, whatever the case may be. I mean, people want to watch gear. So I kind of agree with you, Cookie, on that.
Thank you.
But even if it comes down to it, like even if it's only 4 teams, getting invited, it's still 4 other teams, rather than no teams at all, But like it is, I don't necessarily know everything that's going on behind the scenes of Hype Fest or why it is 16 besides 32. That's just my assumption on it though. But if we can do 4 more and have them invite only, if we can't do 4 more instead of just having it completely invite only, then I think that'd be the way to go too.
I think it's more or less a reward system for attending the first 2 hypes.
Yeah.
Me personally.
How do you reward someone for attending Hype 1 if they weren't invited?
No idea. I don't have that answer. But you get the same thing for Hype 2. That's what I'm saying. I think you have to, when you're doing a grassroots organization the way you are, you have to, respect those who have put in the most time, and that's why it's going to be an invite only. This isn't Hype 3, and we know this. Now, arCtyC, you're giving me this random look, and I'm terrified.
Oh, no, I'm not.
You're going to rip into me there. I was so scared.
No. I'm
Okay.
talking with the chat. I'm doing this for the chat.
Okay.
Oh, man.
My mind, I got scared. I don't know where I left off, but I support Hypefest. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I just want to see more tournaments where everybody has to qualify, nobody's automatically in, because like Lauren said, and it's happened every year, is teams switch up every event unless it's like the top teams and they're smart enough to know
the only one that
they didn't.
hasn't is Infinity, right?
Or did the Insanes do anything?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
They did?
Frederick's gone, Goldie's
6.
in.
Well, okay, yeah.
After Hype
I'm
2.
talking about after Hype 2.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, after Hype 2, I'm just saying, like, any teams that have switched up since then, like, one player can make a huge difference. I say, like, anybody who really made any changes should have to qualify because it's it's not the same team then at that point.
Yeah.
And I feel like teams at Hype should be rewarded based on how they play and not just because they went. Because that's just, I still find that just a straight up silly system. Like, like I said, at least Fathering, they did something with that seed they had at the last Hype. But say, like I said, if my team goes to Hype 2, number 2 seed, because all 4 of us went to the next Hype and went to the first Hype, it's just, I don't agree with that.
But even especially when it came down to the Fathering, people question so much about why did they have the second seed.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it was because we still had 3 members from the original event, and we were the only team to do so besides Infinity. And then they end up playing in the winners finals.
Yeah.
With those 3 members, showing that you need to stick with your team, and the teamwork is going to prevail.
Mm-hmm.
And I was happy that they did place that high because it showed that.
Yeah.
And it's just hopefully I kind of lost my thought process when I was going with it.
He's so frustrated.
He's frustrated. Yeah. I know exactly where Blaze was going with that, but yeah, I don't have anything to talk about with the at least right now with the seeding, because I don't know how Hype 16 is going to work. But obviously this first one or the second Hype wasn't fantastic seeding. Not by any means, but I'll see if they work around it, if they're gonna try to improve it at all, if Hype 16 will be any better based on online qualifiers. I think that's what CDN said they were doing. Is that right?
I think so.
Now,
Okay.
let's say you threw every team that didn't have their original team into an online qualifier, right? Or did it have 3+ members? And that's going to come down to pretty much every team besides about 3 or 4. Now you throw all those teams in there. Now, we all know how online is. Is it really going to be that best determining factor on how good a team is from the online randomness of every game?
That's true. I mean, the online factor
It's the
does
only
play a
way,
huge role. Yeah.
It's the only way to check it. Now, even if they change the seeding, hypothetically, let's say they just give points for attending Hype 1 and Hype 2, even still, and then it's point-wise gets you into the top 16 for this invite only to the Hype 16, it's the same thing. I mean, by not having points is actually almost better in a sense, because then you don't have players who are just picking up teammates just so they get a little bit higher of a seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think you have to go with this approach and just somehow, I mean, I think what CDN's trying to accomplish and everyone from HypeFest is stick with your team, to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did anyone here even expect the Fathering to make it into the top 3, even with their bracket that they had when it was announced?
Nope.
No.
Especially after the first day when they barely beat CYS.
Yeah,
they squeaked past them.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you attribute that to?
And and you can contribute to sticking together, because the only reason why I think that especially when it comes down to the next Hype, that probably, and this is my personal opinion on it, that the Insanes is going to be one of the only teams that stick with Infinity, that can compete with Infinity and probably take the next Hype, is because they actually stuck together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you think about Infinity, they've been together so long, everybody who's broken up is starting back at step 1. No matter if they're replacing 1 player, 2 players, or reforming a whole team, everybody's starting back at square 1, relearning their transitions, relearning their strats. Now, where everybody's starting back at step 1, Infinity's on step 256. And people are still now they got to catch up to them again.
Yep.
And they're still getting better. That's why even before the last Hype, I remember I made so much bigger deal about it, is that they didn't practice that much. They didn't practice that much at all. They didn't practice the last week of the event, and they still came in and they won the event. Now that's why I say the Insanes will, in the next Hype, they will compete with them. They might even take it just because the fact that they stuck together and they're still improving on what they learned the last event.
Yeah.
And that's why I say a lot of these teams are making mistakes, because they're back at square 1, replacing all these players.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting.
I
But I don't see
appreciate.
nobody winning between those two.
Yeah, I preach that every year. That's why the Insanes always did good, because they never changed their roster, and then at the end of the year, everybody's trading one guy to this team, one to this team, and then all of a sudden drama unfolds in between the teams, and then all of a sudden you see the Insanes back in the top 2 winning nationals. It happened every year because they never changed. At the end of the year, they did their best.
Yep.
So, speaking of all the roster changes, I believe you have Carson's left the Fathering.
Yeah, what?
Carson's left the Fathering. I don't know. Then he scrimmed with MBN. I don't even know how that happened. That's almost similar to the Fallout pickup. It made no sense. And then
He's on NBN then. think.
He's on NBN?
No, he's
No,
not. He's not.
Yeah.
Just from what I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, Raw Talent hasn't changed. Them too. Okay. You have Predator
Right.
tried to come back. Don't know what he's doing. Distortion apparently ran scrims with the fathering, or is going to. And there's been more stuff, but I can't put my finger on it. I know. I've been saying I want to bring Frag D back, and it might happen. I know Manny's
Frag D?
Frag D. It might be me, Scar, and Predator trying it. We'll see. We'll see.
Get out of here. What's next?
Called to lie up.
Yuli's coming?
Well,
Yuli's coming
Yuli
back?
was supposed to be on the show tonight. He actually is back full time again. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Is Ghost Ayami going to coach you guys?
No, that would be awesome. I loved him
Is that the
coaching
next
us.
step?
Yeah, I loved him coaching us. He was a man.
Yeah, all right, well, I guess speaking of the first one, I want to talk about the Carson situation.
Well, you can go, Gotti, because I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
But no, my thing was, what I didn't understand was, like, why do you leave a team for a team that you beat?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why do you leave a team for a team that you beat? You know, the only way I can see him even thinking about it is that somebody even coming to him and be like, yo, you know, the reason why you beat us was because of you. You on this team. We'll do better than your last team or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of somebody telling him to even go scrim with them.
Well,
You know?
you also got to think that as far as exposure goes,
Yeah.
NBN is backed by Envious. That's a big time player. So you think about them placing fourth, having Envious or was it Eon or whatever backing your team, so you don't have to pay for diddly squat. That's a big motivator for switching teams, especially in a community like Gears, where it's a bunch of teams that really pretty much finance their own travel. So I think that's a big portion of it as well. But again, I have no idea why you would say, hey, this team that we're working with, the father, when we placed higher than the team that just asked me to join, I'm going to go with the team that lost to us. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right?
I hate to go in, didn't Distortion do that in 09 with the Insanes? MBN got second, then he left and went to the Insanes, and then MBN wins?
I don't know.
I think Prison might have did it. I think Prison might have did it as well, too. Prison did it as well. I think Prison beat the Insanes, and then he joined them. And then, you know, but...
I just don't understand the play.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I can understand Carson's being disappointed after, you know, taking Infinity the distance to round 7, getting destroyed by a mantle kick, and then getting steamrolled by a hot Insanes. I knew even if Infinity lost that, the Insanes, after beating MBN, they were just too hot.
Yeah.
They were too hot coming through the losers bracket. Any team from the winners bracket finals who got knocked to the losers finals was going to lose. That was not a question in my head. But, I mean, the fathering pretty much handed MBN their ass. They beat them 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't close.
Like it was a
It
close
wasn't.
series.
I couldn't believe it.
Carson's was having a field day with each of them. Carson's, Rec, and Kamel's, and CDN were all just destroying them individually in those last 3 games. Like it wasn't anything. Like if I am Carson's, I'm not going to say, oh well, seeing since it only took us 4 games to beat you, and I didn't really have a problem with any of you individually, I don't think I'm going to join you. That's my thing. And plus, you have CDN on your team. CDN's one of the most marketed or known players in the league. That's plenty of exposure enough if that's what you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't get it.
I don't know.
You know, like...
Not for me.
I don't know.
It comes down to it. I think, like I said, the only reason why I can see them do it is because that player might think in their head that I was the reason why we beat this team. You know, then you take the 3 members from that team and 3 members from your team, and you match them up individually. Then it's like, okay, well maybe I might do better with this team. But also at the same time, teamwork will prevail over anything. And you can win an event off of that. And even one of the prime examples of that was arCtyC and ZYN back in 2009. Nobody expected them to win the event that they did, but they came out with teamwork. And they blew everybody away, and they took that Dallas event.
True.
So it's been proven plenty of times that teamwork will prevail over any player's individual skill at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and say Gears 3 has changed that way. I think, you see teamwork in a lot of Lancer-heavy players. But now you have King of the Hill. I don't think Lancer-heavy play is what people look for anymore. I think their Slayers have become way more valuable than they used to be.
But Lancer can kind of annihilate an entire team now, so...
You know,
It's tricky.
I have to agree with Lauren on that one, to be honest. I have seen. I mean, it makes sense because King of the Hill, you get down and dirty.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the MBN game. I looked and I saw High Distortion 1 kill, Fallout 1 kill. What do those guys do? They're Lancer heavy.
Yep.
So.
Okay, well, okay. I will say this because everyone wants to tip around. Prospect didn't show up. He admits to it. Prospect was missing easy shots for him in regards to sniper and torque bows, and even boom shots. He starts hitting 60% of those, 70%. I'm throwing out random percentages here. He increases by anything, MBN probably finds themselves in the top 3. He plays like he's supposed to throughout his entire career. MBN's in the top 2, maybe even competes for first. Prospect didn't show up. It is not on Fallout. It is not on High Distortion. Fallout had an incredible tournament that whole weekend, and that I will stand by.
Yeah.
The problem is that
agree with
last
that.
match. That's all that people look at,
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It is.
It
That
is.
is all what people
But
look
it's
at is
true.
that last
Well,
match.
It's
if you had
true.
a
Off that.
tournament- If you had
But
a
it shouldn't be like
tournament,
that.
then
Of course
why isn't he
not.
on MBN?
He was the scapegoat, and we all knew that from day one.
Yep. I said that if
Yeah,
yeah.
we
You
called
did.
it on
Yeah, we called it
the
before
show.
the event. Yeah.
Yeah, I said
think I
that.
was there too.
I said if MBN does not get top 3 at least, he's out. He's gone. And it happened. So so we don't talk about this too much. I'm gonna move on. We're talking
What
about
about HD?
HD. Yeah. I don't know if Lauren, you want to touch on either the 2v2 tourney or the 2-day tourney we're trying to organize. You go ahead, take charge on which one.
All right, let's start with we just had a 2v2 tournament. We had male-female teams, which was kind of a different way of doing things. I felt was really, the right way to go about having a tournament. And it was great. I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about it.
What?
But,
Hold on, something crazy just happened with the Skype call. Did anybody else hear that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard that.
she just started screaming.
And now arCtyC looks like he's lost in Tron.
I was just blown away. My ears blew off my head, and
I
then
don't know what
I
just
could barely
happened.
hear all of a sudden. So it was
Yeah,
like,
arCtyC, try turning your cam back on and off. You look like one of those pictures that's like a bunch of mini pictures and makes a face.
I got lost in Bufu.
Yeah, all right, Lauren, say that all again. I don't know what just happened.
so we had a guy-girl tournament, right?
Mhm.
And so I don't know. It went really well. Everyone seemed pretty happy with it. It was the first time we've ever had like a co-ed only, like mandatory co-ed tournament. So 2v2s, Krill's Girl Poison won, and they had been scrimming the night before. They wanted to win those 2 T-shirts badly.
Yeah.
Give me them
And a
T-shirts.
big shout out to Razor. Razor sponsored us, gave us the T-shirts to give away. So, and I like Kendall's Razor shirt.
Your mic quality is going in and out. Am I the only one hearing that?
Nah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
same
She's
way. I don't
going
know
from
what-
like high to low.
Yeah, it's
and-
weird.
Yeah,
We heard you, but it's going like in and out.
It's the Skype beta. It just sucks.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Like my
happens.
caps.
But the tournament, I played in the tournament. The tournament, I was fun. My partner was girl Chelsea. Girl Chelsea, and we didn't practice as much as Corrals and Girl Poison did though. But we still had fun. I woke up and we just started banging. Had a good match against Boss Mercs and Just Snipes and Scar Vixen and Nixie and Insecure, I think his name was. Not quite sure, but it was fun though. I enjoyed it.
How was the turnout for the event? I didn't watch a single thing of it. Does TV2 play well? Even I've only played.
2v2 plays a little bit slow,
Yeah.
but I mean we're kind of doing it in, like the theme of Valentine's Day, so
Hmm.
it had to be a 2v2.
The theme was good.
Yeah, it made
So it
sense.
had a few hundred people watching. It was nice.
Yeah, 2v2, I know if you guys have seen that King of the Couch, where it's kind of like 50-50. It really depends who's playing. Like, if it's just 2 groups thrown together, it plays slow. But if it's like 2, high-end competitive players on each team playing against each other, it's actually interesting. So, it really depends. Like, I saw some crazy 2v2 execution matches at the last King of the Couch we did. It was fun.
Yeah, I wish they would put spectator mode into Wingman.
If
That's
only.
what I'd like to see.
If only. It'd be fun to watch.
Oh,
All right, so you
It
want
would
to...
be cool.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk a little bit about the 2-day tournament we're trying to plan at King of the Couch?
Yeah, so we're working with King of the Couch. We're planning a 2-day tournament. Kenny, you're helping me out with a lot of the rules. I'm doing a little bit of the administrative work. So tentatively, and let me emphasize tentatively, we're doing this for May. We're trying to get maybe a $5,000, $6,000 prize pool.
Okay. Yeah.
And basically, I want to sell this tournament as it's going to be open invitation. I'm not going to, I might put a cap on it just based on equipment that we have available, probably at 48 teams.
Oh, your mic just went really low.
Uh,
Your Astro, yeah, arCtyC. I can see it on arCtyC's face. He's having trouble hearing too.
Sorry, is it better?
Yeah. I don't know if it's your.
I honestly have been sitting here and not doing anything.
Yeah, it's weird because your video's not going weird. It's just your mic audio.
Just the audio.
Yeah, your audio's being real screwy.
It's
but
definitely not Astro's fault.
yeah, guys. Pretty much what she said. I don't know if you heard her. I'm just gonna repeat it. Trying to make a 2v2 King of the Couch tournament happen sometime in May. Gonna be about 5,000 to 6,000 guaranteed prize money, which is way more than anybody's used to. I mean, it's usually like 1,000 total gets given out, and majority of that is 2 who won. And I mean, it's gonna be good. I know you guys, if you were at the last one, it was way better. I mean, Rod stepped up. We actually had a main stage, which was awesome. I kind of rigged the webcam, duct taped it to the wall so you could see everything, but it got the job done. And it's in a good location. If it's in the same Morristown area, I mean, anybody in the tri-state can hop on a train and come right over. The hotel is cheap. It's like $100 a night. It's really nice too. So it should be good if this all happens. Another big Gears tournament for us coming up, and I know you guys know you've been waiting for me to talk about Cream of the Crop, and don't worry. I'm talking to Aaron this week from Beyond Gaming. Logo's being worked on by multiple people. Quinn even hooked me up with somebody he knows. And the ball's rolling pretty much. Don't worry. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
What is this Cream of the Crop?
Cream of the Crop is going to be a weekly tournament. Free entry. Anybody who wants to play every Saturday. And it's going to be obviously, all online. And anybody can enter. It's just another way for more faces to get into it. I'm not sure if I'm going to allow all pro teams, though, because I feel like that's going to discourage some people from competing. I'd rather, a bunch of pros just kind of mix and match, not an actual top team. Like, I think if people see Infinity in there, yeah, it's free entry, but they're going to be like, well, we're just going to get scraped anyway, so we're not going to play.
Right.
And I don't want that to happen.
That's the wrong mentality, but I agree with
you guys hear me now better?
Oh, yeah, way better.
Flawless.
Okay, I just adjusted the mic. Yes.
Fantastic.
So let me go back to King of the Couch a little bit. Essentially, I want to do a 4v4 event and have a wingman event inside of that. Essentially, my goal is to sell it as a
now you're getting crazy loud.
Experience. What?
Your mic is crazy loud now.
Oh,
I think drop it just a little bit and you're gonna be right there.
How's that? Are we good?
Talk again?
Yes?
Yeah,
No?
you're good.
Okay. All right, so we want to do a 2v2s inside of the 4v4s. So if people do get eliminated out of their 4v4, they can go play 2v2s or wingman. We haven't really decided what it's going to be yet. And I want to really, encourage a lot of people to come out, new people that haven't ever went to a LAN event before. We're going to bump down the buy-in a little bit, so it's going to be a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier for people to afford. Again, trying to encourage new people to come.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I got for that.
Nice. I mean, I think it's a really smart idea. CrReam, whenever your tournament is, I'm going to directly compete with you with my show. That's going to be an FA, an amateur spotlight.
Oh, you want to do you could do pretty much a recap of it and talk about people or something, or?
No, I'm just going to
mean?
directly compete with you and steal your views.
I'm with you with that, Gandhi. I
don't know if you're going to steal my views, though, because I'm definitely going to be getting front page.
Well, whatever. But no, yeah, so what's in the works is, this is all sports idea. I can't take any credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
But basically everyone is a free agent, pro or not, and or just is a no-name and just wants to be a part. All you have to do is contact Squirts. She'll throw you in this little thing. And you basically play an 11-game series that's casted. I'm going to give I just asked that you send a bio and times you can scrim since that's the most important. And it's just going to be twice a week, 3 times a week, but it's for scouting preferences. I mean, arCtyC, arCtyC's a prime example of someone who could actually use that show because he just played with someone he ran into online, and he was like, hey, you seem pretty good. So basically, it's going to be pro settings. It's not going to be like you're going to run into the guy on ranked. It's going to be whatever we use for hype or king of the couch, and they're going to play out, and then I'm just going to cast over 11 games, and the teams switch every 3 games.
Cool.
That's
Interesting.
That sounds like a cool idea because it's so much. It's so much talent out there that people don't even know about, and I feel like I come across the most the most of it. But
Blaze, king of finding talented players.
King of finding talented players, right? But even so, it all comes down to people just giving these guys a chance, and just having faith that they'll make it, that they'll come out to these events and just taking a word for it. But when it comes down to actual good players, there's a lot out there.
Oh,
it's
tons.
just that somebody just gotta give them a chance to put them in that spotlight. And if you do that, I'm down with it, Gandhi. I'm down to evaluate some players, talk about some people, and actually give my honest opinion on if they got it, if they don't.
You could even play in it.
Can I jump in here?
Right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Last
I need
week
somebody to scout me, free agent.
Last week on the Scope, we talked about that, and I brought up how back in the day we did this whole Adopt a Noob program.
Oh yeah.
And we pretty much we got we would get a group of 3 random amateur players and team them up with a pro player, and they were supposed to work with them, and then we were supposed to also have a tournament at the end for fun, just bragging rights and see how people actually performed. And I was thinking about, because all the stuff's getting brought up, it should be started up again. Maybe, I don't know if call it Adopt a Noob or something else, because I know people would hate the name of that being called a noob, but we were all noobs once, so deal with it.
When it first came out back in Gears of War 1, it had such a big turnout.
Oh, yeah.
And I met one of my
Huge.
good friends, Too High from it, and he was such a good player, a good player. And I met him from playing it. So I love the idea. I love the idea. Give me somebody who I've never met before, and let me game with them. Let me game with them, show them the ropes, talk to them, figure out about them, and I'll get their name out there.
Yeah, I think we'll get definitely a good turnout for Gears 3, because there's tons of people that always hit me up, especially now, with the tournament I'm trying to do, they're always complaining that they don't have anybody to play with. They wondering if I can help them find players, and this would be a perfect way also with, Gandhi's thing he's trying to do, just more ways to get more people who don't know enough people to get a team going and start competing to actually get into it.
True.
I concur.
I concur.
I see Vero just said something. Adopt a Noob works in between events, but it usually falls out. I'm thinking means dies out, and that's always what I thought about it. I don't know if it dies out really, but it seems like the players kind of lose interest in doing it consistently.
Yeah,
but
what happened?
I like the idea. It's just about whether or not it's consistent.
What
Yeah,
happened?
because we don't know when it comes down to that scrim time, when it comes down to that practice time, depending on when the event is. We all are focused on scrimming, scrimming, practicing, whatever, and try to find free time in between it. And with our personal schedules, it can be difficult. But
Right.
Yeah. What happened with that? Usually, I know we would start it, and then it would kind of we would set up teams and everything, and then half the pros that said they were going to do it just didn't do it.
Show up.
Yeah, that's the thing. And this is another thing. When I was talking to Quinn today for ages, he even preached. He said, more faces in this community really need to step it up, or this game is going to die. He was preaching it to me when we were talking on Skype for almost an hour. More of these big faces, and we've said this every week. They need this.
And it's annoying.
Yeah, I know. You guys need to step it up. We can't be the only ones doing anything. There's so many of you. Do something.
I agree, and I will say, it's been some efforts. I have seen some efforts by some players. I'm even guilty of it. I haven't uploaded a video to my YouTube in quite a while. I haven't even streamed in quite a while. Reasons why? They're not good enough for me not to be doing it. So and players do got to step up. I've seen a lot of people get more capture cards, start streaming, get these videos up on YouTube, and just helping these players out, because we are doing this on our own, and we're successful right now. We can be better, but we're doing a good job for what we've been working with.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there that, any of you guys listening, if you would like to, write an article, do a video, and it's quality content, if you send it to me, I'll post it up on GCON. I'll give you that audience. I'll help you out.
What a plug. Fantastic. that would, you couldn't have asked for anything better than that. That's great. Do that. GCON dimensions. And plus, they don't have Boss Nasty working for them. What the fuck is that about?
You brought it up. I'm
Alright.
not gonna say. I'm not even gonna
Don't
talk
even
on
get me.
that.
Don't even get me started.
Nope. Nope.
He didn't
Bad
say it.
deck.
He didn't say
Bad deck. Okay.
it.
After round 4-1.
All right, I kind of want to touch base on a little bit of weapon swaps that have been tried out. I know I have tried out only two so far on King of the Hill maps. I haven't played with Execution, and I also even ran some Capture the Leader pickup scrims with viewers just to see how that went. And what I did try so far, even though I got a little torn apart on Twitter for it when I mentioned it, was I put the Digger and Mulcher on Rustlung for King of the Hill. And it seems weird because I know a lot of people are like, oh, but Rustlung's already fine, but why not put a Digger there and try it? Because that's the only weapon I could see power weapon wise that would work. And it played out pretty nice. I gotta say that. I mean, even though it was just, my viewers, they still know how to play Gears and know how to play King of the Hill. That's something I want to see more top teams try. And also, Thrashball, I did the whole idea because we were talking about, well, when the scoreboard comes down, it pretty much kills the map power weapon wise because then it's just nades. So I put the Digger at Botok, put that pistol in the middle, so when it drops, doesn't mean anything. And I put an ink up at smoke, and the map, even though there was two hills, it actually played pretty damn good. The two hills up top, even though they were there, it still played good because the Digger was always there. So it always
Yeah.
helped out busting through the hills. So I think Thrashball might even be able to work now if we try these swaps.
And I think the go guard.
The only reason I'm so hesitant to try some of these maps out is because based on what I've heard, TU4 is going to change a lot of these hills, and people aren't going to be able to do the same types of setups that they once did and play it the same way because the hill spawns are going to be different. And I've just been real hesitant lately to try some of these swaps out. But I mean, like I said, I made the suggestion last week to, do the Thrashball thing, and I think Thrashball. You said Ink is up at top. I think that might play out really well. You guys know I absolutely love Thrashball King, but I'm just really hesitant to try new swaps right now, specifically for King of the Hill. Now, Execution I don't really care about, but King, I just think that a lot of the maps almost all of the maps, literally, will play a lot differently if they change the hill spawns like they're talking about on TU4.
That makes sense then. I completely forgot about that, so that does make sense.
When does TU4 come out?
Spring, supposedly.
Hopefully April. That's what I'm going for. I think April's probably going to pop out.
I think April sounds right, yeah. I'll go ahead and say April. Let's guess April.
Hopefully so. I'm curious to see where all these new hill placements will be. I wish we was able to get some type of info on it beforehand, just so we can put our input on it. Because like it is, we can find out a lot of things about this stuff. Before it comes out, so that the update can be as perfect as it can be. So we don't have to wait for alternative updates for it.
Okay.
But when it comes to King of the Hill right now, I feel like especially some of the maps that play well, I think Rustlung is one, Dry Dock is one, and from there Trenches is cool, but from there everything else is kind of up in the air. When it comes down to maps and choices that we have now, they all have their issues. I
still think Slab is fine the way it is. I know you spawn in the outside spawn, but every time I watch it, I don't see teams having a problem breaking through and getting back to that end kill. I don't know. Oh, did the Skype call just go mute?
No, I'm here.
No.
Oh.
No, we just all didn't say anything.
Oh, I saw I saw his lips moving and I wasn't hearing anything. I was like, what?
No, I had muted my mic for a second. But yeah, what I like about Slab is it has that Rustlung setup. It's kind of like a cross. It has those hills at the 4 points, top, bottom, side to side, and then it has that middle hill. And Slab has that exact same setup. So does Thrashball, without the two hills up top. And, it's kind of predictable where the hills are going to go. So people are able to, set up quicker. There's not that much randomness towards it. There's not that many possibilities like Trenches and Dry Dock. That's what I like about the map and its setup.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing being predictable because then no matter what, you always know where you need to be next. So it allows the more coordinated team and not just the lucky team who happens to be right next to where the hill goes for some reason, actually win.
Exactly, and I think one of the issues that they are going to fix in the next update, because one of the problems is now, and I've seen it happen so many times where I'm about to go cap a hill, the hill is in next mode, and I'm running to this hill, but a team spawns on the exact hill. I've seen it on Rustlung, I've seen it on Trenches, and they spawn right there in front of it, And the thing is, like, when a hill's at a certain location, you only get certain spawns. You don't spawn. It's certain spawns that are blocked when a hill is in a certain area. But when a hill goes into next mode, those spawns are still available to spawn at. So they can actually spawn on top of the hill right before it actually switches to the actual hill when it comes out of next mode. And so what they need to do is they need to put that exact same spawn radius when a hill goes into next mode so that teams can't spawn on top of that hill or in the spawn right in front of it. You know, so when you team slays the entire other team, that they're not being rewarded for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just been hesitant, but I like a lot of the new maps on King, except for Escalation, obviously. But I like a lot of the new ones.
Yeah, I was talking to Quinn about that, and he was saying he was questioning the Face's legitimacy because he was a fan of the map.
Wait,
Yeah.
Of what?
Of
What happened?
Escalation, when the
Escalation.
last time the Face was on 2 weeks ago, and he was saying how much he loved Escalation, and Quinn was saying he questioned his legitimacy as like an actual Gears head.
Call it troll.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
I mean, I understand that stuff's gonna change, so it's gonna suck. Like even now, though, like say we just start playing the stuff we are now, it's still gonna change though. So I think no matter what, we're just gonna have to adjust to it when it comes out. But for
Right.
now, I'd rather just find the best stuff that works weapon swap wise. So even when the hill changes do come, we still have like the best possible playable maps. You know, because they did
Yeah.
say, you know, try swaps. I mean, we were told this. You know, guys, try swaps. That's not out of the picture. You know, they did it for trenches and they've done it for other maps.
Yep.
So why
Yeah,
not give it a shot?
I definitely want to play Thrashball with some new swaps on King, just to see how hard that back top hill is to break. So I think that'd be interesting.
Mhm.
I don't know about some of the other maps though. I'm just like up in the air on
Yeah.
swaps on other maps.
What was I going to talk about? I don't know if you guys saw this weekend, but Loco's going to be on next week to touch more on it. So we're only going to mention a little. There was the Gao.se tournament that happened over the weekend. Pretty much all the European teams. I got to commentate a match of it with Vero, and I got to see Apex versus Enjoy, and those are pretty much the two top European teams. Enjoy is actually French, as far as I know. And I saw some crazy gameplay between these European teams, and man, if they could come over here, I know Apex did a little bit disappointing, but if some of these European teams could come over, you could see some crazy stuff happening, new faces, and I don't know if did you guys happen to catch a tournament at all?
I
I casted some of it.
Oh yeah, of
I
course.
popped in a few times. I thought for the most part it was phenomenal. I wish I could have watched more. I just was busy. So, but yeah, from what I saw, it looked really good.
I saw 2-2 strats on Mercy.
Really?
As well at the ACL tournament, which is the Australian Console League. Those guys, let me tell you, you know how it's only like the pros push in America? In Australia, everyone pushes. There's no waiting. Regardless of the skill, it is ridiculous. You lose your voice after the first match you cast. It's incredible. But yeah, the Gao SC, I thought it was actually pretty good. I mean, the only thing is you have to think about the latency issue because, I mean, you know, I don't know anything about Europe's geography, but I feel like it has to play some kind of a role in an online tournament. I can't wait for the EGL personally. I think that's going to be the landmark for European gaming.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Hopefully I'll be out there seeing it.
Same.
Yeah, I heard about that. Hopefully we'll be out there, you know, seeing it, commentating it. It'll be awesome. I can't wait for it. We'll be finding out this week because I believe Loco just got back from did he say Sweden or somewhere? He was
Must be nice.
Yeah, he was in some other country in Europe, but he's just getting back. And he'll be on next week.
Modeling?
No,
Modeling leather jackets.
God, the snazziest dresser of them all.
oh my
Right?
God. Yeah.
Jeans and a t-shirt.
Is Loco on a team yet?
No.
They scope next.
No. Not any team yet, as far as I know. He's just, you know, managing the EGL and getting more stuff going for the European scene, which, you know, props to him because as hard as it is here with more players, it's got to be even harder over there because they definitely have a smaller community. And, you know, like Gandhi touched up on, there was also the ACL, what was it, the Australian,
Yeah.
what was it called?
Australian Cyber League.
Australian Cyber League. I still can't believe there is a Gears of War scene in Australia.
Right?
It's like 3 teams.
I got nothing. It makes no sense.
It was 32.
32 teams.
teams.
No way.
Damn.
I don't believe that.
No way. There's no
Like, are they a part of those
Okay.
people that when we go searching for rain games, like they're part of that those 4 or 5 players that play worldwide that can't play with us?
Yeah, that's probably it for all I know.
I don't even see. I don't understand. Do they even have rain games over there with the amount of people they got?
Oh, of course. They probably got to play on our host though, and they probably hate it.
Oh God, can you imagine?
Yeah, all the way in
Every
Australia.
California
Dedicated
for East
servers.
Coast is terrible.
I can
as it
barely
is.
stand California. Imagine across the world. I played on Monster's host once when he was in Korea back in Gears 1, and it was the worst. The
Vero
worst.
says it was actually 45 teams,
Oh, 45. Damn.
but
What?
only 32 were
What do you
allowed to
have
play.
Here we-
here?
So
43. Be correct.
Here we go.
43.
I'm linking you it on Skype. There's everyone who registered. 43 teams.
way to live,
Good
Vero.
Lord.
Yeah, Vero, idiot.
Boosting those numbers, Vero.
Yeah.
All we
That's
should
crazy.
do, we should just move
Worldwide
to like
Gears
a
of War tournament?
place. We should just move into like a place where all 3 of these communities can become one, and then we'll have like 200 plus teams.
Right?
Like have our own
It-
little island that we all move to?
Yeah, like let's avoid the Middle East entirely.
Okay.
We should go to,
Let's go to
we
like
should go to Mexico. We go to
let-
Mexico. Everyone loves the Mexican.
Madagascar.
Mexico, man.
I feel like Mexico's a little reckless right now.
Philippines?
And no, I like
Mexico drug cartel.
go.
It matches Gears of War. I mean, it's like
Cuba.
violent.
Flights are opening up there soon. Guys have mandatory military service from 18 to 22, and the women can't get into bars unless they have a male escort. So I wrote Cuba.
Why do you know this?
Who
A
knows?
cornucopia of knowledge.
You're like that dude that
I-
just sits there
I'm like-
watching Discovery and History all day.
I have a calendar where I'm like crossing off the days until America opens up flights to Cuba, and I'm like, yes, one more day, coming close.
Wow.
Oh
I can't
man,
believe they had that many teams though. That's insane.
that's awesome. I had no
Yeah.
idea. I saw them once streaming. Like I think I was up till 5 in the morning one night. Not surprising. And I saw them streaming something, and they're 2 Australian casters, and that was the first time I saw it. And I was like, is this real? Like an Australian tournament is being streamed right now?
Mhm.
I couldn't. I still can't believe it. So 45 teams for I'm assuming is like the first decent Australian online tournament. That's awesome. I mean, I'll be happy if my tournament gets that many.
How crazy would it be if we were able to make it that private matches got some dedicated servers, and it was this master Gears of War world tournament, with Australian players, European players, U.S. players, and we got like 300 teams, enrolled in this to see who's the best in the world.
Kind of like
But
WCG.
Yeah, but it comes down to being able to host and have a good connection from the U.S. to Australia, from the U.S. to Europe, Europe to Australia. So that's where it kind of comes down to.
That'd be like
I think
impossible.
Epic should do something like that. And I've been thinking about like talking about this in an episode. And I'm glad you brought it up. But I feel like Epic has been one of the staple, well, in the past, not so much now, but in the past, they were one of the staple developers that ushered in competitive play with Unreal tournament. So, I mean, with a community like Gears of War, obviously Unreal did not have a huge following for console gaming just because it was so difficult for a lot of people. But Gears of War has a pretty high difficulty level. The community is much bigger. And knowing Epic's history, I think it would be really cool to see them back the game, kind of like ID does Quake. They have QuakeCon every year. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So, I would absolutely love to see that, and in some capacity, whether it be online, dedicated service, whatever, for private matches, or them just organizing something like an Epic Con. Just generic ass name. I
That'd
don't
be
know.
sick.
But
And
that'd be sick.
They have the
Yeah,
money
they really
too.
would.
They got the money.
Exactly. We know they have the ability to do it. Well, I hope they have the ability to do it.
If you saw
Let
their
me-
studios like I did,
Yeah.
oh, they got it.
Epic's not going to do anything unless it makes financial sense. What a lot of people forget is Epic is first and foremost a business.
Of course.
That's
Now, my
bullshit.
thing is when it comes to that, right? Now, for the longevity of Gears of War, right? Because we don't know if it's going to be a Gears of War 4 or whatever, and this might be the last one. So for the longevity of Gears of War, we need to make sure that competitive gaming is where it needs to be. And competitive gaming is going to contribute to that longevity of the game. So, but I think it'd be good that Epic, puts that time and effort into it, and if we can get dedicated servers for private matches, and we can orchestrate something that big with a good prize pool for it, then that'd be huge. That'll contribute to them business wise.
Yeah.
Is second JLR? Is that him?
Huh?
In the chat, he's talking about Epic didn't support UT, and the only reason I said I wasn't talking about like backing the game. Sorry to cut you guys off, but I was talking about like the developers were actually involved in the game. I mean, Cliffy, if you actually played UT99 or any of the Unreals back in the day, Cliffy used to get on and he would whoop your ass in the Unreal Tournament. Like he would get on as Cliffy B and run around in rooms and tear your ass up on PC. So I don't know if people actually know that. I was one of the people that got my ass handed to me. So I know. I mean, he was involved in the game. That's all I'm saying. But bringing it to a step level or the next level, I'm saying they should have something like that.
Yep.
I just got to mention Pete, being the troll he is, saying that Epic already spent all their money on jetpacks. So that's why I can't stand anything serious with Pete and Quinn. It's like they'll troll you any chance they get. I swear, they're a terrible duo. Terrible.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, I love them to death.
Oh, they're awesome. Yeah, we all also just reminded me when I was talking to Quinn today. Might get him on the show in 2 weeks. He said he wants to get on, and he says, I'm going to have to work with Epic PR and all that. And I said, whatever you got to do, because we would die to have one of you guys on the show 1 week and actually pick your brain live and see what happens.
Put him on the edge.
I think Quinn and Pete, both of them?
Oh, we could do Quinn and Pete. That'd be sick.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if Quinn's in the chat. Like, I was trying to get Quinn to do some commentaries with Pete because, Pete has his own YouTube channel, which you guys need to subscribe to because he's throwing out little tidbits of information. But I was telling Quinn he should get in and hop on some comms, and he said he's too good for that. He said he's already winning or whatever. And so I was like, made a joke at him, like he's Charlie Sheen of game development now. He's like winning all the time, but he's by winning. He said he's winning. He doesn't need to do commentary. He said he's too busy for it. So I don't know. I mean, I got him to get on for one Skype call back before the game release. So I think he'd probably be down. I know Pete will.
Oh, yeah.
Pete's awesome.
Yeah.
Pete's the man. It was so good seeing a different side of him at Hype. Seeing him open up with all of us.
Wait, which side? Multiple. Everyone there knows.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, Pete. Oh, man. All right, let's see. What else did I have jotted down? We've talked about so much already. Oh, yeah, I brought it up. A lot of people were trying Capture the Leader lately just to try it, and I said I tried it as just kind of a pickup to see what it was going to be all about because all of a sudden everybody in my stream was like, try it out. So I just did it. And, I mean, it's all right, but the fact that a smoke grenade stuns you out of the leader and then the time resets back to 0, I feel like you would never win. It would go for like a half hour.
Really good teams that would go indefinitely.
Yeah. I feel like it's...
Well, no, I was going to say, because, like I said before the show, I got my Prescott on lock. I'm one of the hottest Prescott players out there. So, I didn't get my 300 games in on Capture the Leader. And, I done had some pretty intense Capture the Leader matches. And it always comes down to where, you got this leader and you got him captured. And when these guys are spawning, they're throwing 5 smokes at you, just over everything.
Yep.
And as soon as you get knocked out, it's back at 0. You got to pick them up. And then also the LB, it shows where every player is coming from. So that leader has a big communication role, and, it's hard to throw something at them that they won't see coming, so it's pretty difficult. I think if you had 2 professional teams playing it, I think it'd be a very, very, very long game. Intense, but very, very long game.
Yeah.
How long are we talking? Like, would a
20 minutes. There's no time limit, I don't think.
Plus.
There's no time limit on it.
So it would be like for my knowledge here, it'd be like a Halo Reach, King of the Hill kind of thing.
Yeah,
where it always runs out all the time.
You won't be able to do it with certain maps either. You won't be able to do it with certain maps.
That's natural.
Yeah, I don't see it working at all.
Mind.
I don't see it working.
From some of the, I mean, I've played way less than 300. I've only played like 20, 25, and I've gotten into some intense games where they last like 30 minutes each each round lasts 30 minutes. So you're talking about an hour worth of gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so long. I mean, you could bump down the capture time for the leader, but then it kind of will feel cheap if you put it at, like, what is it, 10 seconds, I think is the
Yeah,
It goes 30.
It goes 10,
30
20,
seconds.
30, 40, 50, 60.
30 is the lowest?
No, it goes. I think it goes all the way from 10 to 60.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought, 10. So if you put it on 10, it might feel kind of cheesy, but I don't know. I haven't played it enough to give it a fair assessment,
Yeah.
but from my initial thoughts, it just wouldn't work. It'd be too long.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, I love Epic's innovativeness, but you know, I wish we would have had a classic capture the flag. 'Cause I just love capture the flag.
Or, can I bring it up because I thought this was supposed to be in Gears 2 when they did the whole submission where you had to kill the leader? Is arCtyC talking right now, or is his webcam that delayed?
Delayed.
It's probably delayed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when in Gears 2, where it was a submission, you had to kill the leader. If you actually spawned on the leader or in the vicinity, I thought that would work. But it never turned into that. They made it the same old thing in Gears 1, so that never happened.
Right.
Anyway, you know. Also, you know, Quinn was telling me today, he was telling me for a while, so I got a bunch of topics from him, that we should try TDM on the Phoenix Rising maps because he swears it'll work. You know, he's like promising it'll work, or at least it'll play better than any of the others, and also on trenches he feels it'll work. So I want to see teams playing that. This is the time we should be testing because we really don't have a damn thing to prepare for right now. Like, there's nothing really set in stone. So if there's time to test, it's right now, like we say every week. But I know tomorrow I'm going to try and get some TDM scrims in. I'm also going to try and get some no-holds-barred scrims in where everything's allowed just to show Quinn it doesn't work. Because I tried telling him back and forth. I'm like, it doesn't work, Quinn. If you let the people have a hammer burst, everybody's going to use a hammer burst.
Exactly, and when, you know, as soon as one person pulls it out, everybody's gonna pull it out.
Yeah.
And then then what we don't want is slow gameplay.
Yep.
And that's really my thing against TDM too, is because as we've seen at Hype with 7-man rule, teams will do whatever it takes to win. Okay, and then that's when it's gonna come down to teams are gonna go up in numbers. Then we're gonna have this tremendously slow gameplay, and viewers aren't gonna watch it. And that's the same thing when it comes down to hammer burst and retro. You're gonna have slow gameplay because people ain't gonna have enough nuts to push, and they shouldn't push actually because they know they're gonna be pushing in bad situations with another player having a hammer burst and retro.
Yeah.
You want fast gameplay.
I mean, the only rifle I can even see trying is the retro, but I still don't even think that'll work.
And didn't they make it more accurate?
Yeah, that's a rumor. I forgot to mention that somebody tweeted at me today when I was like, "Hey, you have something you want us to discuss?
No,
hit
they
me
did
up."
not.
And there are people hit me up saying they buffed the retro accuracy, making it a little more accurate.
Why?
Why do we even play with the Lancer? Like,
I'm sure it's not as accurate as a Lancer, but the fact is it's more accurate, supposedly. I don't know.
It needs to be less accurate still because those kids can shoot that thing like no other.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And then
Like,
mastered the gun, make it harder for them.
I feel like the first bullet that hits you every time I say it, I feel like it puts me half right every time.
It's like
that first
shotgun
bullet.
shells. You shoot multiple shotgun shells at once.
Yeah, that's the supposed thing that's been done. I can't confirm it because I couldn't find anything, really stating it. So
I think the biggest issue with making at least Quinn, in my opinion, understand how the hammer burst plays is like having him sit down, either spectate or just play himself.
Yeah.
In a match where you have two top teams with the hammer burst. I know he's had to see it in ranked. That dude plays a lot of gears.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the gameplay is so incredibly slow.
Mhm.
I just don't understand how he doesn't understand that. And when you have Fritzly finger type people with the hammer burst, I mean,
Fritzly fingertips.
Yeah, you have those Fritzly fingertips. I mean, it's just not going to. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
I was trying to tell him that.
I'm not saying TDM won't work. Just putting the hammer burst in doesn't work. TDM, I'm still kind of up in the air. I think Academy, it plays really well. Slab, I don't know about Slab, but Academy, at least, it plays pretty well.
Yeah.
Depths, no. And then what does that leave? Anvil? Anvil's a maybe.
Yeah, Anvil I'm not really sure on. When it comes to the whole Hammerverse debate with Quinn, like I said, I tried to tell you, hey Quinn, we did this in Gears 2, and it practically cut the competitive community in half after Meadowlands. We lost so many people after that
That was the
event.
whole. I blame that first event on Hamburg. The reason why Gears of War 2 failed the next couple of events because it was so many people that got pulled into that event. We had like 127 teams that event. Most
Yeah,
teams we ever had in
it was
Gears of War history
ridiculous.
at MLG
Yeah.
event. And
Mhm.
next event we had 50,
80? I
No,
think it was 80.
80.
well, it was. I think it
It
was a
dropped.
little above half of
It
who went.
dropped
Yeah.
completely.
And like I tried telling him, I think he just wants to actually see this between top teams. Because like I said, a lot of stuff they aren't realizing until they actually see it firsthand from us, streaming it, commentating, stuff like that. So what I'm going to try and get done this week is I'm going to stream it, get commentated too with somebody else, whoever wants to do it.
I got
And
it.
also, yeah, Scott, if you're down, and while it's going on, we'll discuss the pros and cons of what's happening in front of us. And, I can't wait to see somebody get wrecked by sawed off and just rage.
Yeah.
And I probably know some of the
I don't know,
perfect
man.
players to test
Well,
that
one,
one. too.
one of the other things that you have to think about, at least with Gears 2, that Meadowlands event, and talking about how slow it was, were some of the maps that we had in that selection were just so shitty. Do you guys remember Ruins was in there?
Oh, God.
Ruins was in that map rotation. Like, did we? I don't know what I was thinking. Like, did we not test that? Like, what the
We
hell
didn't.
were we thinking
That's the
about?
thing. We didn't test anything. We just went into the event all hammerburst. We didn't try
No,
anything.
I don't know. I don't think. I think back then, I don't think our relationship with MLG was that good then, because I think we were just given things and told to play them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
you
think you
know,
guys
I don't-
even had a relationship.
I think we were just given stuff and told to play them, and then they had a big. I remember they had a big debate about Lance and Hamburgers back then, and everybody's main argument was that Hamburgers takes skill, Lancer doesn't, and we was like, okay, yeah, the gun does take a little more skill to shoot, and speed and accuracy, we got that, but we wasn't like, especially stopping power was a new thing at the time, and nobody foresaw how that event went. When you got especially two top teams, and you got finals matches, and you on security, and you got 13-round draws. And it's so boring where we had tumbleweeds rolling around our main stage at the time, and nobody was watching. I remember we was out there just watching the game and we were just clowning around because it was not appealing to watch at all. People was
Nope.
falling. was
My
bad.
team was a prime example of how broken that was,
Yeah.
and I'm not happy to know about it. I know Manny's behind Lauren or in the house somewhere, doesn't even want to hear about this, but we got knocked out at about 4 in the morning by Raw Talent in a 4-hour
Put him on
match. And Brenna was coaching us, made chairs behind us, and went to sleep because the match took so long.
Yep.
And I was so tired, like I was doing that trying to stay awake while I game thing, and I was so mad when it happened, I literally threw my controller. That's the only time I ever did that in an event.
That's when the 7-round rule was invented.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Vero, it was not 3:56. I looked at my watch when I grabbed my bag. It was after 4. Your clock was broken. All right.
So,
But I remember the day after I go and Clap's there, he's talking to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, we made the 7-round rule. I felt so bad." I'm like, "Thanks, Clap. That really helps me now. Thanks, man."
Yeah. What if the hammer burst just takes over Gears of War 3?
I won't let it.
competitively?
It won't.
Won't let it.
I won't let it happen either. I don't care who you got back in that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a full supporter of it.
it's really difficult to justify it, man. It's just, I mean, as fast as you see some of the people that shoot online, I mean, some of those dudes have to have mods. I mean, it's just a matter of statistics, but it's like, how can you want that in competitive play? How can you want it in competitive play? I know,
Yeah.
that we want to try to use as many default settings as possible. I get that. We want the game to look as default as possible for the people that viewing it. I get that, but they're not going to view it if people are having 4-hour matches, just flat out.
Yeah, you just sit
You know
there
what I
and
wish?
dies. No one watches that. Who wants to see that?
I would.
Who wants to see that?
I wish we had a few of us. I wish a few of us was able to test out the Gears of War before it even came out. Gears of War 3, we was able to go down to Epic Studios, get in there, and just run a bunch of matches. I wish we had the relationship we got with Epic right now back then.
Yeah. A lot of stuff could have been changed if that was the case then, but it's whatever. We
Well-
do what we can with what we have now,
Exactly.
Shoddy only. Until stopping power is removed. That's it.
Shoddy only. Oh,
It
man.
still wouldn't be shoddy only. I mean, it just wouldn't it wouldn't happen if you remove stopping power. Like I was saying on the last, I think I said it on the last Active Reload. Like people forget that Gears 1 wasn't all shotgun. It was predominantly Lancer gameplay. And if someone got in your face, they weren't hip fire lancering you. They were taking out their shotgun and
Yep.
trying to shoot you. That's how the game needed to play. I mean,
Yeah.
people would cross. You had a lot more crossfire. You didn't have one guy holding down 3 people. That just didn't happen. So I would like to see it. You know, whether or not, I think they reported the Hammer Burst and the Retro stopping power as a glitch or whatever with the Phoenix Rising DLC, but I know they turned it off. But I think it was just reported like that. But I mean, we talked about it so many times, Kenny. On-off switch. That's all we need.
On-off switch for stopping
On-off.
power. My life
That's
would be
it.
complete in this game. There's so
On-off
many
switch.
situations where you can get in that dude's face with a shotgun and completely change around, as opposed to him just being like, "Oh look, I lancered you. You're dead because you can't even move. Congratulations."
I think especially when it comes down to slow gameplay like that, I think one of the main reasons is that a lot of teams, especially a lot of these newer teams, don't know, I guess say the proper way to, play maps and run strats on maps, and how the map should be played. And I think a lot of that comes down to because nobody tells them to, because usually you see, because like Mercy, I like Mercy and I'm a stand by Mercy. I ain't gonna get into the whole Mercy combo, but I don't think that should have been a map that should have been removed, because I just think people don't know how to play it. But when it comes down to everything else, I think when it comes down to this to the community, that we should be putting out more videos on how to properly set up on strats on maps. But I know a lot of people won't do it because they don't want to tell people their strats.
Yeah,
because they think that people are gonna they think that people are gonna counter everything that they do. And in reality, it actually makes you better. Because you see before events, people stop streaming.
Yeah.
Because they don't want people to see what they're gonna do. But it really doesn't matter if you know what I'm gonna do. You still got to counter and know the rotation that I'm gonna run it in.
Well, you can still run a surprise trick strat, and even if you've seen the trick strat before, you don't know what's coming until after it happened.
Like I said, the best team should win regardless. You should be able to counter everything. I don't know why you're so worried about somebody knowing your strats. I mean, you look at all the StarCraft players and all that. There's little strategies they all do, but I mean, everybody knows everything. I mean, honestly, I never really see anything new implemented, and almost every game, everybody knows what everybody's gonna do. I mean, unless you go football with all their call signs and sneaky stuff, but then you got Bill Belichick being sneaky, stuff like that. But that's all different stuff. But I mean, show setups. Like I've said this, my team back in the day, I've brought up before. My team back in 08, when we won Orlando, we ran base every round, the entire tournament.
So you're Infinity.
Huh? Yeah, we basically did
now.
that. Yeah, well, back in the day, that's when we won Orlando. That's what we did. We ran base every round because we were so good working together and countering everything. Yeah, we had trick strats, but we didn't need them. Like, we had a counter to everything that was thrown at us. That's what teams should have. They shouldn't be worrying about if a team knows what they're going to pull out of their bag next.
Exactly, and even just in the topic though, but yeah, like, and you won't see players do that. You won't see teams like, all right, this is the video, this is the strat that my team run on this map. Here you go. Now me, I think I'm actually going to start doing that. And I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to run. And if you think you can break it, because that's just going to make me and my team better. Because we know exactly what you're going to do and we're going to counter it.
Yeah.
But like it is, and this information should be out there to those players, those amateur players. And once they know this, then I think it'll be all good for them. But people shouldn't be scared because of that. Because like I said, even though you know what I'm going to run, you don't know when I'm going to run it, and you don't know if I got to counter and I'm setting you up for something even bigger.
Yeah.
So it comes down to that, how Gears of War is like, it's a chess game at times, anticipating what the other team's going to do.
Yeah, and I just want to say, how do you know if your trick strat's going to even work if you don't use it on anybody, so you don't know how to counter what they then counter you with?
Practice all these
how do you know?
Online and you use it on all these amateur teams, right? And then when you throw it on land and it's just blown out the water, you can have 50 strats up under your belt. 50 strats, 50 different ways to do things. But when you go to these events and you use it the very first round and it fails, your teammate's like, nah, we're not running that again. Go to something else. And that next thing you know, you're back at base.
Yeah.
You're back at base because you had no practice on them whatsoever.
Yeah.
Trying to be all secretive and shit.
Yep. That's the truth. Selend, why are you saying remove hotel execution? Oh my god. Oh my god.
What is that blasphemy?
Is this real?
It can't be.
This is why I just steer clear of like working with everybody sometimes, because some of the things I hear is like, I don't know. Anyway. I don't know if you guys have anything else to touch up on. We've pretty much covered everything I had to talk about.
I'm all good on my end.
I just want to say I hope everyone stays tuned on GearsCon, and I do have a couple Gal Nation guys helping me out too with this tournament 2-day event. Like I said, just stay tuned. We're working on the details. We'll get them to you as soon as possible.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess on that note, we're going to pretty much wrap it up. Pretty much an hour-long show. It's what I always want. And whoever wants to start first, you can, plug your shout-outs, yourself, whatever you want to do, and go around in a circle and close us out.
Who starts?
Blaze, you can go first.
All right, everybody. Thank you for having me on the show once again. And, thank you all you guys out there who's been watching. Follow the Twitter down here somewhere, BlazeByNature, and the JTV, twitch.tv/Blaze. Much love.
Scott, you want to go?
Oh, it's me. Well, shout out to everyone who watched this. I always appreciate it. I love the good active reload. I actually am the one who made CrReam do it today, if you can believe that.
I don't believe that.
It's true. It's true. I got so busy
serious.
planning all these things. I have so much stuff going on in my mind right now, and I completely forgot about today until he hit me up on Twitter.
CrReam doesn't care about the community is what he's trying to get at.
Okay.
Nonetheless, thank you guys for just, tuning in and, just spread this as much as you can. Just try to get like one person. Just show one person, anyone who's slightly active in Gears of War's Twitter. That's it. If you gain one person a follower like once a week, we'll be all right. Especially a player like CrReam or Nick Merckx or arCtyC who streams and has a YouTube. Those three I would recommend. Just push them as many followers as possible because they're the most active. And, of course, my food shout-out for this week, Sour Patch Kids. Only red and green. Christmas edition. My God. Delicious. 7 pounds
so they
heavier
kind of stale
just based on that.
Dude, you are a fool, man.
What's up? What was that, Cookies?
Oh
Are they a little bit stale?
No, not one
Not
bit.
since Christmas?
No.
All right, well,
No, when the Christmas candy goes, on sale?
On
like,
sale 2
yeah.
months ago?
well, my pro tip of
Whatever.
the week. My pro tip of the week will be Lifesaw dual action disinfectant wipes. Now,
guys
no,
trying to
honestly,
steal my shout-outs,
no. Now
man.
the reason why I say this because I actually clean my disc with these. I've cleaned disc with these,
You do.
and I've had games that never work after I wipe them with this right here. Lifesaw purple bottle, complete clean, dual action gets the job done, and that's
Oh
real
my
talk right
God.
there.
All right.
All right. I got nothing.
So I'm going to do a little shout out, but I'm gonna make it a little bit longer because I got some people trolling me in the chat about Cali Gladiator and his. I don't know if the other guys maybe plays on Cali's Four Horsemen team. So this is exactly what I told Alex. I told him if he has the time to scrim when our team is on, whether he be off, whether he be a weekend, he doesn't have time to play. And I'm not trying to make it like a thing where we're at odds or anything like this, but if he has time to scrim our team based off of what he told us, he should be playing with us, right?
Right.
So I don't care if he gets on and he happens to get on and we're looking for a scrim, but to Gladiator, no, we're not avoiding him. I scrim against Dan's team, Raw Talent, when I get the opportunity. For anyone that doesn't know, XO is a member of ZYN. Why would I be scared to play Cali North? That makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. So to Gladiator and his other buddy, I don't know what his name is, get your stuff straight with your facts about our team. That's the number one thing I'm going to say. I'm going to just leave it at that. Okay? Now, as far as shout-outs go,
Whoa, here we go.
shout out to all the team, all the players of our team. Amazing. Cali North, XL, Zeno, Wraith, Skyless, Phobos, my brother Orange, who's coming back Thursday.
Woo!
My brother is coming back.
Woo!
What's up? So shout out to him. I got to give a shout out to my girlfriend because, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Fellas, you guys better do something nice for your girlfriends tomorrow. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Once a day.
Yeah.
Shout out to Razor for supporting our team, supporting the competitive Gears of War community. They're doing great things with everyone that they possibly can in Gears of War. So shout out to them, and shout out to all of our fans and supporters. So thank you.
Yep. I got a Facebook page called Gamers Are the Best Lovers, okay? Now go search that. And some of you guys might be, liking it. I made a post on it. I made it like years ago. what it's called. Gamers are the best lovers on Facebook. Go give it
We
a
are.
like. We are the best lovers. Nobody's better than us.
We're very low maintenance.
Respect.
Don't bother us when we're gaming. Support us. And when we're done, we'll cuddle on the couch. And like,
am I the only one that you saying that reminds me of Revenge of the Nerds? The first one when he finally gets with the chick.
Like I swear, I be telling these females, I'm like, yo, you know, I got you after 10 o'clock, after 11 o'clock, I'm all yours. But when I'm gaming from 6 to 10, you know exactly where I am, so don't bother me. Don't bitch at me. Don't bother me. Let me game, and I got you afterwards. I don't see why females don't like that. You know where I am all day.
It's impossible.
I go out with you on the weekend. You know where I'm at all day, and I got you at nighttime. You know, don't trip about the shit.
No, it doesn't work like that, Blaze, because they have to be in touch with you all day because guys or girls
Text me,
entertainment for texting. And
I don't care. You can text me all you want.
Ruined relationships, and I will stand by that for eternity.
You know, go watch my live stream. You know exactly where I am. That's why I got it. Nah.
Yes, you can be my moderator.
Let's not get on it because I could talk about this all day long.
I will have a conversation with you.
Yo, we should do a show about this. Gamers and relationships and love.
And then we have to get to like
Oh
oxygen.
God.
Let's go.
There's
I'm down
TV
for this.
now.
This is my specialty right here.
Oh man. All right, Lauren, I think you finally get to go.
Oh, good.
I'm enjoying my Sour Patch Kids for this.
Okay. I want everyone to say shout out to all of my girls on the Scope. Make sure you tune in to the Scope this week, this Thursday, 9 p.m. We're going to be talking about Pro Host. We're going to be talking about, I know, right? We're bringing it out into the open.
Wait, did you say Pro Host?
Yeah, I did.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
We're going to talk about what expectations we should have as a community, standards of behavior that I think people should exhibit in general. I'm speechless over here. Right?
No, okay. I'm tuning in.
I'm not going to be specific. I think I have an idea, but...
What day is the show?
Thursdays.
Thursdays. What time?
9 p.m. Eastern.
I'm calling everyone I know.
I'm just glad that you're talking about it because the last time Scott and I just touched on it, just a little bit, we got some backlash.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
I think it's better that girls are actually talking about, so
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about getting in trouble.
We moderate ourselves, don't worry. But yeah, so we're talking about that. And, you know, I want to give a shout out to, like I said, all the ladies on the Scope, everyone who works with me on GCON. I really do appreciate it, and your hard work. We're really out here, you know, trying to support the professional community. So, yeah. And Kenny, Kendall, Scott, thanks for having me on tonight.
Of course. Thanks for hopping on.
D-Mac said he was going to watch. I called D-Mac first.
All right, guys. I just want to thank you for tuning in again. Once again, we made it through 2 months now. Active Reload. Next week, we're gonna have Loco back on. He's got a lot he wants to talk about the European scene and plans he has. Also, going to be helping out, getting me cream of the crop rolling, other stuff going on. Next week, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Be there. Don't miss it. Tell your friends. You know, each person tell another person. Come on, let's double. Let's finally hit 1,000. We're always around 500. One person tell another person and get them in here. Simple as that. So, thanks for tuning in. You know, you can follow me on Twitter right here. Everybody's Twitter is right below their cam. So please follow them all important people in the community. And thanks for joining us, guys. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yay.
I'm going to get a food sponsor.
A food
Hey,
sponsor?
CrReam, can a snack sponsor of some sort. CrReam,
What's up?
can we do this cast like this weekend of like pros doing a 4-on-4